Dear viewers, welcome. The time, March 1898. The place, Kenya, east of the famous Mount Kilimanjaro in the harsh Tsavo Desert. This is where it all began. Terrifying stories were passed down, and tragic news spread of men who met their end in the jaws of two of the fiercest lions of the time, who alone were responsible for the deaths of up to 135 people, leaving behind images of the victims and the immense tragedy that befell them. Throughout history, Tsavo lions were known as some of the fiercest man-eating types. Despite being smaller than their Serengeti counterparts who lived up the mountain, likely due to their harsh, resource-scarce environment. It was also said that these lions were usually found in small prides, often with only one male for mating, who held exclusive breeding rights. In contrast, most other prides included many lionesses and at least two males. As the slave trade routes developed through Tsavo, Kenya, many traders forcefully marched their captives across the barren lands. Due to the extreme heat, one of the slaves often died along the way, left behind as easy prey for predators. Many believe this gave the Tsavo lions an early taste for human flesh. The tragedy began when a team of Indian workers led by British Lieutenant Colonel John Henry Patterson arrived in Kenya to build a bridge over the Tsavo River as part of the Kenya-Uganda Railway project. It seemed doomed from the start. As Bruce Patterson wrote in his book, The Lions of Tsavo, few men at the end of the railway knew that the name itself was a warning. Tsavo meant place of slaughter in the local language, referring to the killings committed by the Maasai people, who often attacked weaker tribes and slaughtered their men, long seen as an omen of doom by other communities. Shortly after John Henry Patterson and his team began construction, a worker went missing. After searching, his mutilated body was found. Fearing that a lion was responsible, Patterson, realizing the looming danger, set out the next day to stop the horror and track the beast. Instead, he found more bodies, men from earlier missions whose stories had been buried with them. The next day, another of Patterson's men vanished. By April, the number of missing had risen to 17. And that was just the beginning. The killings continued for months, with the clever, elusive lions outwitting every fence, barrier, and trap set up to stop them, causing hundreds of workers to flee and halting bridge construction. The lion attacks devastated the camp. No one could stop the massacres, especially since they often happened at night, when the hungry beasts stalked the workers relentlessly. Screams pierced the night as these savage predators dragged men from their tents into the wild. Most reports claimed 135 people were eaten by the two lions that year. But the company, eager to downplay the incident and avoid inflating the numbers, officially declared only around 30 workers missing. The violence didn't end until January of that year, when Patterson finally hunted the lions down. It wasn't easy. He built thorn barriers, lit night fires, and imposed curfews. Still, the attacks continued, leading fearful workers to believe in curses and even rebel against Patterson. It took Patterson months to kill the terrifying pair of African lions, who had grown massive from gorging on human flesh during months of slaughter. Patterson was instantly hailed as a hero for ending the brutal crime spree and praised around the world. Once the threat was gone, bridge work resumed, and the workers finally regained confidence. The project was completed in February 1899. As a historical memento of the massacre, Patterson kept the lions' skins and skulls. In 1907, he published a best-selling book, The Man-Eaters of Tsavo. A quarter-century later, the skins and bones were sold to Chicago's Field Museum, where they were mounted and displayed to the public as legendary monsters. But the story didn't end there. Bruce Patterson, zoologist and Field Museum curator, spent years studying the lions. Chemical tests on their hair keratin and bone collagen confirmed they had eaten human flesh in the months before being shot. The tests also revealed one lion had eaten 11 people and the other 24, making the actual death toll just 35, far less than Patterson's claim of 135. In 2009, Nathaniel J. Dominy, Associate Professor of Anthropology at UC Santa Cruz, said, "It was a historical mystery for years, and now the contradiction has finally been addressed. We can imagine the railway company had reasons to downplay the deaths, and Patterson may have had motives to exaggerate them." A second study revealed the lion who ate more people had dental disease, a bad jaw, and skull damage. He likely turned to eating humans out of desperation. Meanwhile, there was a noticeable decline in other prey, mainly elephants. So when humans entered the area, they became easy alternative meals. Although we know more today about the truth of the Tsavo lions, they remain mythical symbols of their era. As Bruce Patterson told the Chicago Tribune in 2009, the Tsavo lions' remarkable achievement was that they halted the British Empire at the height of its power in Tsavo. The story of the Tsavo lions became legend, told as a tale of courage and survival. But more importantly, it's a reminder that nature can be cruel and unpredictable, and that no matter how advanced mankind becomes, he remains vulnerable to untamable forces.